Hi, I'm Kathy Ross-Nash, and we are going to go over the basic Gratz reformer today. We're going to go over all the parts and pieces, show you how to use it, why the proportions are the way they are, and how efficient it makes the workout. Joe Pilates' workout was created with this apparatus. So the traditional work has to be done on this apparatus for the flow and the continuity of the work, as well as the correct body position. The height of the foot bar, which is down here, is a specific angle. This angle ensures that when the knees come in, they're in the correct alignment so that you can use your stomach with the proportion from here to here. Also with the springs, there's a lag as it comes in, so that last inch is the best inch and it's all you. The shoulder blocks are a certain height, so that when your hands are on them and your feet are on here, you are on a certain angle. The headrest has two settings depending on what a person needs. You can also use pillows for certain people to prop them if it is necessary, but those two settings are pretty much, in general, all I use. The strap length is not adjustable. You just take the handles and slide them through the strap like this for certain exercises, or you add the extenders so that this way there's a constant flow. You're not constantly changing. It's this for arms, it's this for legs, it's this for this, it's this for this exercise. It's one length. And if you do the work correctly and you're on the boxes that are the correct sizes, everything works out proportionally. I like to think of it as the proportions for the apparatus are similar to the width of a hand being equal to someone's sacrum. No matter how tall I am or how small I am or whatever my body type is, the width of my hand is equal to my sacrum. Well, the proportions of the apparatus are very similar to that. They are built for the human, whether you are 4 feet 2 inches or 6 feet 2 inches. This apparatus will work for you. So, we go down, we have our foot bar, which easily comes down in one fluid motion. We have our springs where there are four springs of equal tension. All you'd have to do is take a spring off or take a spring, add a spring to increase or decrease the tension. You have the bed, which is a certain distance, and the shoulder blocks, and they're a certain distance from the headpiece. The width of the apparatus is specifically designed so that when you line up your shoulders, they'll sit in the correct position. The straps are the right length, and the length of the apparatus is not long. It is a shorter apparatus so that all the action comes in. It's only later in the work that you challenge it and go out. We have our bar, and the main purpose of the bar is to help people find their box and to see that their alignment is correct. How many times do you have a person, you have them up there, and you're like, okay, your left arm is shorter, and they're like, no, it's not. Well, they can look up and go, oh, it is. Also, when you're holding the black tips, it puts your arm at that 45-degree angle, where when I bend my hand and put it behind my head, it's at that same angle. What that does, the correct angle of the bar, is it draws your shoulder blades together so that you get stabilization. If my arms are here in a shorter position, you see how it opens the spine up, and that's the position that we use for articulation. So the length of your pole is very important, as is the height and size of the box. If the box is too high and too padded and too bulky, it changes the angle in which you sit. When it changes the angle in which you sit, you can't push through your heel and lengthen through the back of the body, which in Pilates, we are really using the back of the body and opening the back of the body throughout the whole work. We tend to forget that we have a back of the body and we're very frontally focused. When we engage the back of the body, it brings us back much to our animal roots, where animals are very aware of the sensitivity of the back of the body, the fur on the back of the body. They move from the back of the body, their propulsion comes from there. Ours does as well, but we kind of forget it and think, oh, frontal. So all these proportions help us find that awareness in our body. The handles are simple, it's easy to lift, and it's easy to put on. When we put it on, you secure it in this position. We'll move these later, you'll see it gets hooked by the hooks. To remove it, very simply here, holding it from the two sides. It's not too cumbersome. It's not a heavy box, so the instructor does not, or the client doesn't get back strain. Picking up and moving the box are one of the last things that I do teach my basic people, because the biggest problem is when people twist and bend and pick up. Once I see that they're engaging their stomach, then I'll allow them to put it on. Then we have our long straps, which are used for our leg circles and our frogs. Whenever you do this, you want to line it up with the leather and the wood handle like this. This slips right through. And then you place it over your arm before you go do the next one. You want them to become mirror images of each other. So it's leather on the inside, handle, and then the metal hooks. The reason why you want the metal hooks on the outside is that you don't want them banging together and opening up. The other thing is you don't want to ever put the metal hook on the foot for comfort reasons, but also because it changes the length of the strap. So you see, if I have it here, my one strap becomes longer than my other. So you always make sure that the metal is on the outside. 1, so it doesn't bite the client. 2, so it doesn't open. And 3, so that it does not change the length of the strap. Okay. The other thing I want to say is that you always, in the beginning of every exercise, check your apparatus from the foot bar down. Even after my 30 years of teaching, before every exercise, I say to myself, foot bar setting, spring setting, headpiece setting, strap setting, pole setting, box setting. I go from the bottom of my apparatus to the top of my apparatus mentally in my head quickly to make sure that I have everything set correctly. So with that said, I'd like to invite Ms. Lynn-Ann in, who is a Romanos Pilates instructor from Manhattan. She also works at Flesh and Bone and is probably one of the most beautiful practitioners that I know, and she is a renegade. So the way you're going to get on the apparatus is with one fluid motion without using your hands. You're on the diagonal, you sit yourself down, you swing your legs over, and you fall right into position. Okay, we're going to start with the footwork. The first position is the toes. You want to make sure all the toes are on the foot bar and holding onto the foot bar. Press the heels together. The knees stay right in line with the shoulders. You don't want them to drop out. Good. If you look, this is going to be the very beginning position of your double leg stretch, which is flexion and extension, two-way stretch. I look to make sure that both sides of her body, there's equal space from the corner edge. The apparatus is created to help you find your alignment and help you see your client's alignment. So I look at the shoulder rest and I go, oh, Lynn-Ann might have her ear a little close here. Good, I move it here. She has equal pressure here. There's equal distance here. She looks pretty perfect to me. And so what she's going to do is not allow her heels to go up and down. It's as if they're in cement. She's going to engage her stomach, wrap her little tush, and then drag it in like she's sitting with the tailbone down. A two-way stretch. Squeeze it and drag it in. And one more time, and squeeze it and drag it in, moving the apparatus from her stomach, not from her legs. Now she's going to go to the second foot position. Heels are under and over. This is a little more difficult. You have to press those heels together, squeeze the knees together. Now you're wrapping the entire muscle around the leg. Press the heels underneath, pull the stomach in, and you hit the second reflexology point and drag it in. So the first part you're hitting is the heart and lungs, the circulation. The next one that we're hitting is we're getting the internal organs. Good. Push those heels underneath. Now, like a little bird on the perch, keep your heels under. That's it. Drop your foot a touch down on the foot bar so it's just below there. So now the pressure is just below the ball of the foot. Stretch out, squeeze my finger. Bend the knees, squeeze knees. Good. Where's my finger? One more time. Stretch out. She loves me. And bend in. Good girl. Third position is heels up. Now notice you're hitting all the range of motion of the ankles. First, the ankle is up, then the ankle is even. Now you're flexing back, pulling the toes all the way back. So you're utilizing all the motions of propulsion and connecting your walking to your stomach the first moment you start working the apparatus. You're thinking about standing up already. So pull the little pinky toes back. Now get the toes back. Get those little babies back. Good girl. Can you press those heels together too? Are they able to get together? That's it. And squeeze it in. Pressing the heel together helps engage the inner thigh, right? And pulling the toes back as the knees bend. Pull your toes back, pull your toes back, pull your toes back. That's it. One more time for good luck. Now pull. Lost you. Pull the toes back. Now pull the toes. There you go. So it really engages the back of the body. So the first part, you're really wrapping. The second part, you're lengthening. This time you're strengthening. So let's go to the fourth position, which is the tendon stretch. Heels are pressed together. Lengthen out, squeeze the bottom, and she's going to wrap the muscles around more. Lift her head in that direction and lower her heels down. And notice, good girl, come back up. Notice as her heels drop, these little bones don't touch. She's pressing her heels together, and so this gets more. Right, that's it. And now come back up and zip it up, lengthen through your head. Leave your head on the ceiling and wrap right there. That's it. And then lift up, 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 and bend the knees in. Now, here's the beauty of the transition. She's going to slowly hook her top foot, drop the other foot down, find the bar, lift the top foot, and gently lower her legs down, straight down for the 100 position. Nice and easy and fluid. And there she is, ready to go into the 100. She's going to reach back at the arms, and they're going to be straight up. Now, today, because she is a basic, we're going to do the first 2 sets with your legs totally down. So reach into the strap like a roll up. So go back down. Reach into, lift the head. Lift the head. You feel the difference? Mm-hmm. Come on, reach more. Reach more. Stop right there. Roll the body up. People tend to drop the arms too low. Reach here. Now pump. Feel that? Yeah. So you have to strengthen the upper stomach first. Without strengthening the upper stomach, you have nothing to support the lower stomach. Good. Go back down. Go back into the slide a little towards your feet and go into that position and think about the roll up, right? So you're in this position. Your chin comes to the chest. You engage the stomach into the spring and legs are low. Good. Hands are a little higher. Hands are a little higher. Right there. Pump. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. And she's pressing her legs down. So we're really focusing right now on her upper stomach. Come on up, baby. Isn't that awful? And then when she is fabulous, which she is, she's going to pull her stomach back and lift her legs up so that they are eye level. One day her goal is 2 inches off of the mat. Pulling the stomach in, reaching the fingers, and bend your knees and bend your arms all the way in. Now to transition into the next exercise, she's going to take her 2 handles into one hand. She's going to swing her legs up and take out 2 outer springs.
Outer springs.
Outer springs. I prefer outer springs. Some people use inner, some people use outer. She's going to lie down, and then she's going to rest while her lovely instructor, Carol Merrill, going to add on her straps for the leg springs. Usually after this point, after they've done the 100, it's a nice place for them to take a breather. Okay, and pretty much after like the second or third lesson, I will start forcing my students to do 1 strap, and then by 6, they should be doing their straps as well. Good. Bend your knees in. Now, when you're going into the leg circles, the first time you teach it, you're going to teach the frog first. Usually, I'll keep them doing the frog until that I see that they connect their stomach into the movement. You do not have that. You do not pull on the strap and have them bring their legs back. That's dangerous. They must be able to take their feet, just like Linan, and place them here. Bend your knees down into your chest and look how nicely it fits. Okay? Pull the stomach in, stretch your legs out to me. Glue your heels together and resist, bend in. Notice her knees are a little deeper than that original footwork position. Good, stretch out. But it is the same action. Now she's pushing into the strap, and I really focus on pushing into the strap because one day this becomes her long spinal massage. Now push into the strap and open. That helps with the two-way stretch. Draw your legs down, push into the strap, squeeze the legs together and up. Open, scoop, draw together, squeeze them together and up. Open, reach into the strap, push into the strap, and good. So now she's finding her two-way stretch. Oh, that's a lot of work, isn't it? Who knew? Up. Press the heels. Notice her legs are not rotating in and out. They are staying in the hip socket just the way they should. Good girl. And bend your knees home. The same pathway, not dropping the feet, just like you did on the foot bar. They stay the same path going out as they do going in. Take your legs back up over your head. Good. Bend your knees in. Good. Now, you're going to swing your legs over to the side. And look how easily she's going to transition into stomach massage. She puts her foot bar up. She adds her springs. She grabs her little pad that's underneath the apparatus. And she sits into the first position. Now, we just did the footwork, which was this position. We made it a little deeper in the frog, and now we're sitting it up. And we're making it deeper in this position. It is the same position. Her heels are up, her toes are on here. Look at where the knees are. She looks like she's gonna do a beautiful rolling like a ball. She scoops her stomach back, doesn't let the ankles move, and don't lower. Yeah, and bend in. Stretch out, press the heels, hold with the toes, scoop the stomach in. Knees a little more close. After about 4 sessions, I might add, depending on the person obviously, but if she's a healthy person, I will add the heel lowering where she lengthens her heel. The same rules apply as the tendon stretch that you did before. So these exercises are now blending together as they intensify. So you have the first footwork to stretch out, you lower the heels, which is the fourth, you come in and good. Now, we've worked our back rounded. She keeps her feet where they are. This is part of the exercise and takes off a center spring. She takes her hands back behind her and soft elbows. And this is now an arch of the upper back, a lengthening of the neck, pulling the stomach in, and she's going to scoop her tailbone under and stretch out and grow tall and bend the knees and come in, lift up, lengthen here. Good. So now we're working the spine in the other direction, lengthening and opening the chest. Stretch out, so scoop up the stomach against the lengthening. She's going to reach between her legs as she comes in the next time. Eventually she'd do one lowering. Stretch out, she'd add the lowering and lifting and coming in. Take one spring off. Look how easily it is. She's going to stretch out, leaving her fingers over the foot bar. Pull the stomach back and stretch out. There it is. Bend the knees in and reach up higher. Lift that low back. Good. Leave the hands right where they are in space. Stretch out. Scoop it back, glue your heels, reach up for the reach. Good girl. Step off. Okay, so you notice that I had her do the outer springs first and then take off the inner springs now. Why? When you are first doing that work, you want the carriage to be stable and the force coming from within. As you evolve as an instructor, you'll see you can play with springs to change tension. The reason why with the massage series I take off from the middle is because eventually she'll be adding semicircle. So right from the beginning, I'm going to prepare the student to understand what is coming next, and the spring setting helps to tell you that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to get on the short box. Would you like to get that? Well, chit chat? Good. So you take, once again, as I say, you always start from the foot bar. I go from the foot bar. I check my spring setting. Lynn-Ann is small. I do 2. My headpiece is down. Okay. It hooks. There's 2 little hooks here that hold it into place, and the shoulder blocks. I put the bar. Good. Now Lynn-Ann is going to mount her apparatus. And she's going to be 1 hand's width away from the back edge. The way the apparatus is constructed is that when you're 1 hand's width away, you have support behind your sacrum and your low back. If you're too far forward or back, you do not have that. The strap length helps to ensure that you're going to get the right tension when you're that far away. So you want to push through the heels. And the hug is a rounded position. Now, you just did this scoop in your stomach massage, but before you were pushing your legs away from the body and the body was stationary in footwork. Now you're doing the same isolation, but you're moving the body away from the legs, but it's still the same scooped action coming from the hips. So she's going to squeeze her popo like she has 2 little ice picks right here. She's going to take her chin to her chest to begin rounding that spine. And I like to, when somebody's basic, take them really far forward so that they can think about leaning back with this part. Pull your stomach back, squeeze your bottom, and she's just going to reach to touch her low back, push her heel, scoop, and come up and over. And again, what happened to my feet? So push out with your heels. Push out with your heels. Good girl. Beautiful. Flex, push, squeeze that bottom, squeeze that bottom. Look at those gorgeous legs. Good, let's open a little more. Now, I like to use this strap. This is my safety. If I don't have this, then if this is not engaged, then I don't feel where my safety is. So push out hard, push with the heels, pull the hips back, scoop, scoop, squeeze the popo, and hollow up and over. Reach forward and touch your toes. As she does this, she does not collapse over. She's still in a beautiful scoop position. Good. Now, flat back. Take the hands onto the little black, right? Lift the arms all the way to the ears, all the way up. She is healthy. This is her position. Notice that she's sort of looking like she could be doing a teaser. If I flip her on her back, her legs are up at that 45-degree angle. That is what this apparatus creates. Look at the angle from the hip. If she is on her back, she is in her teaser position. If I tip her like this, she's in her teaser position. Here's her first teaser. Did you realize that?
No.
Oh, see?
I love it.
Fabulous. Genius. Lift all the way up. Now this is about length, right? Pushing through the heel, pulling the stomach in. This is a lower abdominal, rib stabilizing. You've rounded. Now you're going to do that lengthening, just that same hinge from the hip, and then grow taller and taller and taller and taller and taller. Get up higher. Lift up, tip, squeeze the bottom, squeeze the bottom, squeeze the bottom. Now return up, 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 up. Stay for the next side to side with the shoulders over. The hips anchor. You reach out with the collarbone slightly in front. Reach out and come up. This is a side bend, not a front diagonal. Ribs in. Reach. Anchor this hip. Here's your predecessor for all your side bending in your mermaid. That was a beautiful. Good girl. Stretch and reach out and come up and lift up. Stretch. Push out with the heel. Good. Spine is nice and long. Anchor the hip to return. Good. Take the leg out. Good. I'll take the bar. Now she's going to do the tree as a basic. So the tree is really about stretching the back, not about stretching the leg, which is very important. This leg moves slightly out so that you have the strap engaged. Remember I said this is your safety. It should always be engaged. Without moving her own box, and one thing I can utilize as a teacher is that I look and see her proportions on the box. Does she shift? I also know 9 times out of 10 this hip's going to shift back, so I tell her, bring that right hip forward a little bit. Good. Hug the leg to your chest. There's the all the way in. So now look, this is that leg circle and frog position intensified, right? Here's your stomach massage position. Now she doesn't have the bar to stabilize herself. She only has her back. Pull the stomach in. There's $1 million ticket right there. We can go shopping later if you don't drop it. Grow tall and just throw it away, up. This is not a big deal. This is just to warm up the tendons. Stay out there, walk your hands to your ankle. Now, this is when the fun begins. This is how I teach my basics. Drop the crown of your head to your knee. Stay there and pull your stomach off your thigh. Pull it off, pull it off, pull it off, pull it off. Sit up as tall as you can. I like to break it down. Pull the stomach in, Pull this back, stretch this leg too. Stretch this leg, this hip has to stay long. Good, pull it off. Now, stay down there, straighten your arms, but don't move the leg. Good, now pull the leg back with your stomach. Look at that, we're introducing controlled balance and they didn't even know it. Push that left leg too. Stretch the front hip. Now bend your elbows and bring your head to your knee. Stomach off the thigh. Pull the stomach in and go back. Bend your elbows, bring your head to your knee, and just return home like this. How's that feel?
Amazing.
Amazing, right? And relax. And it's very safe. We're gonna do our other side quickly just because I can't leave her uneven. It would drive both her and I nuts. And going over the tree is very important. Once again, because she's doing it really beautifully too. Stretch, notice the other leg is secure. It is not about lifting the leg. It is about opening the spine. And you see it in the first action where she scoops her stomach up and off. Head to the knee. Good, you could do that, why not? And then sit up nice and tall. So the first couple times I might do this. And if they're tight, I might give them a strap. Take that strap, hook it on, they're all good. Pull it in. Ooh, don't drink and drive. Good, hold on to the ankle. So you really wanna hold the ankle. That's it. It's very important that you hold the body where the body should be held and stretch it up. Good, there. Now pull that tummy back, straighten the arms. More, stretch those arms. Stretch them by pulling back. There, look at that. That's your teaser touching your toes. Now pull the stomach back. Oh, look, here's your single leg straight. Oh, look at there. The reason why I like to point these things out is because then when I go to the mat, bend your elbows, bring the head to the knee. I can say, oh, remember your tree? Here's that position. And pull the stomach in, and it's a lot less scary. Isn't that delicious? And bend your elbows, stomach in. Good. Curl over, curl over, curl over, and good, and relax. This way they learn that it is a stomach back exercise. Beautiful, good. Let's step off. Okay, we're gonna remove this, and she's going to take her bar with her beautiful box, beautiful and correct. I'm going to once again check my apparatus. Going into the elephant, I need my foot bar up, 2 springs, and my headpiece up. The way you get on and off the apparatus is very important. It is simple and clean. So Lynanne is going to place her hand, her foot, her hand, and her foot directly where she needs to go so she arrives in the elephant. Now, I'm going to move her back there. So very similar to that tree position, Lynanne, I want you to round, there you go. Notice it took, when she lifted her stomach and found that tree, it took it out of her wrists. If she's too far forward, it's gonna be pushed into her wrist. But if she uses the proportions of the apparatus, lifts her toes and look, there's that, feel that, Lynanne?
Yes.
Now, only 1/8 of an inch, dig your heels, work the back of the body like I had you when you did the hug. Here's your hug position, right? And scoop, dig the heel and lift the stomach. Pretend that you're rolling your pelvis back. Push. Now, just like you're on that box, pull into here. So now she's in that same angle as she was before. Scoop, push, drag it in. So because of the proportions of the apparatus, if I flipped her over, she'd be in that teaser position that we discussed as well. So now we're going to go right to the knee stretch series. It's the same as stomach massage, but now instead of sitting up, your body is facing down. You lift your heels, and with the stomach engaged, bring both knees down to the apparatus at the same time. Good. Take your feet back. Place the heels against the shoulder block. This is imperative. The angle of the shoulder block helps you stretch out the metatarsal of the foot and connect to the heel, which connects to the buttocks. The wrists are not broken. You hold onto that bar, the head is down. Once again, find that deep shape in the low back. Drop here and push back, scoop and in. Now, notice where I have my leg. I put my leg where her knee is going to end up, which is ankles width, no further. For the first stretches, scoop and in. Yes, good girl. And the accent's gonna be in, out, scoop in, and in, and in, and in. So it's the same as the stomach massage. Reverse the arch. Stop. So this is something that gets lost. As you reverse the arch, reverse from the pelvis and resist it. See, there's a stretch there. And it also opens. You're also now introducing, doesn't that feel good?
Yes.
Do that again. So I'm also introducing what happens when I do a swan. I'm elongating from here, from here, from here, and now look at how her chest is open. Doesn't that feel like a whole different thing?
Yes.
How you get there is as important as what you're going to do. Maintain this length and opening and push back and in, and in, and in, and in, and in, and good. Now, knees off, there's several ways of getting in. Once again, from your tailbone, round, scoop, massage, and open the spine. For somebody who is strong, you would take the first position, lift it, bring your knees a little closer, and scoop up, just like she did. Good, bring your knees down. Another way of doing it is to have them from this second position, round, straighten your legs up like you would an elephant with your heels up. To go from here and have them lift and bring their tailbone under so that the shin, keep coming down, come back more.
Back.
There, back. So that the shin is parallel to the mat. Bring your knees down. Many other times what I will do is I will break it down for one leg position to the other and give them stability. Take your right leg forward. Have a high heel, take it even more forward. And I will have her do it this way so that I don't risk her going into the box. She understands how to do the action before asking her to do two. So go ahead, push out, take the knee off. That's it. And scoop in, head down more. Scoop in, look at your navel. Scoop in, that's it. And good, gently bring your knee down. And other side. I also like teaching this as well now because the last exercise that I'm going to teach her is going to connect to this opening and this position. It's going to be, instead of the flexed position, it's going to be the extended position. Good, stretch out. You like this, don't you?
Yes.
Yes, 2. And it's very safe. 3. And good. Come down and let's show them the double leg. Now, your goal on the double leg is to do a fully extended leg and come back in. But in the beginning, when somebody is basic, they do not have to do that. Head down and good. Take the knees off and push. Scoop in. Push through the heel. In. That's beautiful. In. In. In and gently come down. Good, swing, come off, step off. I check my apparatus from bottom to top. Foot bar is up, 4 springs are down, head piece is up. At this point, I like to put my straps back on just because it's neater. And she's going to get back onto the apparatus with the fluid motion that she first got on for running. Now, your feet are not in a huge V running. Your goal is to one day have them really close together. The heels kiss, the knees are in line, all the toes are on, and you run with the knees pointing to the ceiling. Alternating legs, knees to the ceiling. Good, lift. So, stretch both legs out first, and then bend one leg and pause. This heel gets a stretch. This heel gets a stretch. And does that feel good? Now zip it up, both legs up, and then stretch the top of this foot. Stretch it, stretch it. Look, here's your pumping on the chair. Mm-hmm. That's it. And this one's your tendon stretch. And stretch all the way up. In, lift, press on that heel, lift that heel, lift it. Work that knee right to the ceiling. Good. Straighten both legs, bend both knees, wide position to the pelvic lift. She's in a very good position. I like this on the arch. You can do it on the heel as well. You can do it in any position. This is a great position for her and a great position for a beginner person. Tailbone comes up, just the tailbone. You only go up the sacrum. You can make a prayer position with your hands. Go like this and measure from your tailbone back a little bit more. There. Now drop everything else down. Feel that? Now don't lose this and separate your arms and keep them close. Good. And wrap the bottom to go out. And then drag it in with the inner thigh. Scoop, 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 scoop. How's it feel?
Great.
Great, right? Wrap. So that's how you're going to find, remember how I discussed about the width of the hand? That's how you're going to find her position. Wrap it out and scoop and drag it in. Good. Roll yourself down. Bring your legs together. Sit yourself up like a lady. Take two outer springs off. And she is going to do the first of the splits. This is when I like to introduce it to a healthy person. So you're going to get on hand, foot with your one heel behind and the one foot on the bar. So you're going to do the kneeling split.
The kneeling.
Right. So we've just done the knee stretch. It is the extension of that knee stretch, and I'm starting to introduce how to open that pelvis. How's that feel?
Good.
This is all about that last inch coming in, baby. Push out with the heel 1/8 of an inch and stop. Drop your pelvis forward into that space. Sit on that right heel and keep the box square. Good. Go out a little bit more. That's all you need to go. And come in. Is that great? Mm-hmm. Stretch out. Press the heel. Drop the hip. Good. And come in. And for a lot of people with tight backs, opening up the front part of the body is really going to help them. Good, change sides. Good, attach the heel, bring the knee out a little bit. So you want to make sure the knee and the heel line up with the hip and usually between the first and second spring. Bring the pelvis forward. Remember, this is about opening that pelvis. Yeah. Push the heel back, move back 1/8 of an inch, stop. Lift your pelvis. Oh, there you go. Lift your pelvis in there. That's it. Push back a little bit more. Push back. Good girl. Now pull the stomach in and come in. Push the heel back. Lift the stomach. Can you see the tree position here? And when I was telling her to stretch that leg, when she was in the tree, that bottom leg, there you go. Good girl. And bring the leg down. And good. And step off. And always leave your apparatus as you find it. Foot bar up. 4 springs. Headpiece up. Handles attached. Strap, box, and bar all aligned. And that's how you use it.